Sleep. Sometimes blur it in your Jeep so your peeps can stare at the rhymes. Real rhymes, not your everyday hologram. Even when ribs is touching, never swallow the ham.
Wouldn't it be a great idea to show these designs on t-shirts? And that's where it started.
All right, yo. I'm really excited for today's episode. Today we got the Monet Club, brand owner, lettering artist, you name it. No, big love. This is family. We're gonna go through talking today about business. All the tools needed to succeed, inspiration, and all these other great things, man. So stay tuned, and yeah, man. Hopefully we can all learn something. Bless. Yes. We are here. We are finally here.
Finally came.
We're finally here. What's popping, guys? So Davesbasket. Today we're going to be interviewing and having a chat with Monet herself. You get me?
People.
Trust me, representing the Monet Club.
That's right.
But you know what? I'm going to let you talk, man. Tell the people about who you are, what we got going on. Yeah, man, chat to us. What's going on?
So I guess I'm an artist. I studied throughout college, university. I've studied art and design, graphic design. I focused on graphic design as my major in university. And although I haven't set my career in the graphic design world, it is definitely something I like to keep practicing at. I love design. I love anything lettering, bold, expressive. I love it. So I go through different stages I've gone through different stages in my life of picking up new skills and finding the best way to express my art, I guess.
I hear that.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been going with the Monet Club so far?
I guess it started, I want to say, 2016, 2017.
Okay.
What's that? Like 5, 6
years now.
Years.
2022, 6 years.
Exactly.
Okay.
And, it started off as an idea because I found, I used to work at a place, and as part of their advertisement, they had explored lettering, this world of lettering and calligraphy, but doing it digitally on a digital device. And that blew my mind. Like, I was just like, what? As we all know, we normally use pen, paper, there's calligraphy equipment that you would use to write on paper.
Hands-on stuff like that, analog.
Hands-on.
That's how you were
Exactly.
doing it in uni.
Exactly. And if I'm being honest, it wasn't anything that I was interested in. However, I pretty much geek out on anything technology and tech, I should say. And for me, I already had owned an iPad. That is how I start my creative process. And, I had already had Procreate as a way of me exploring my creativity on a digital form. So when I noticed these art things going on to do with lettering, that's what started it for me. It got me, and I started to go crazy with researching artists and the Apple Pencil and all of this stuff in order to get my business. Or I didn't even know it was a business. It was just something I wanted to learn, and I just done everything that I needed to do to learn the art.
I hear that. So what you were digging into at the time when you started seeing the lettering and your researching stuff, I'm imagining the stuff that you had learned in your graphic design course, was it relative to the things you were picking up? Like, for instance, when you first got Procreate and you started, feeling around with that, were you comfortable in that space, in that digital space, with the knowledge that you had from your craft or your degree?
I guess it somewhat triggered things that I had learned throughout my educational process.
Yeah.
You know, they do teach you when you're in uni and college, whatever the case may be. They do take you back to the basics of how to, I don't know, in this case, do block lettering, where it's almost like a block.
Yeah.
It has a cutout of the letter.
Okay.
And it just takes you back to how newspapers were made back in the day, and magazines, for example.
Okay.
So they teach you that process, and I guess that could relate to my interest of what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, repeat the question again.
No, it's calm. Like, so when you started researching, so like you saw the lettering that was going on, you saw what was happening within the digital space. You started to look into it. So when you downloaded like Procreate, did you feel comfortable in that digital way of creating?
Yeah,
compared to what you learned?
I guess it was something that I was interested in. And for me, if I'm not interested, like most people, if you're not interested, you're not going to put your full potential to it. So it definitely triggered that. And for me, because Procreate was like, it's not an expensive app. You know, we're used to having to buy things like Adobe and all of these expensive pieces of software. For me, it was just like, oh, it's only what, £12 or something. I was just like, amazing. Oh, you can use you can use a stylus to behave like an actual pencil. You got your tablet device or iPad that behaves as the paper. So for me, I was just like, this is perfect. I don't have to waste on paper and all of this stuff. I can literally build a portfolio on my digital device. So all of these things are exciting for me. And it's weird because sometimes if I see something that I like, but then I find out there's a process that I now have to learn, sometimes that will just put me off. But for this Procreate, I had no idea how to use the app, but it's something that I wanted to know, especially as you can use it for multiple different things. So it's something that I wanted to learn, and that's when I found YouTube. Good old YouTube.
I hear that.
And shout out to Ian Bernard.
Okay.
That's the main guy. He's everything to do with lettering. There's another artist, but he cannot come to mind at the moment. But yeah.
But that's the guy.
That's the guy.
Okay.
He's the guy. He's a man.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I love that. I think when you start to get passionate about something, especially in today's day and age, like the amount of resources that we've got available to us. And I think something that you mentioned there as well, like, if it wasn't for having like an iPad and an Apple Pencil and something digital where you can create a portfolio, it'll cost you money getting the papers to be trying things and scratching things out and getting the pens and getting this and getting that. To have all of that in just one thing.
One device.
Yeah. And you don't have to have somewhere to put all those papers and store this and store that.
It's amazing.
Change the game.
It changes the game.
That's mad.
You know, it changes the game. And I speak so passionately about the app itself. Anyone, you know, my mother, she makes clothes. She's a fashion designer. That's her craft. And she's so creative. Like, you know, when I was living at home, you just see like loads of what do you call it, envelopes, you know, like letters, right? Envelopes, an empty envelope just chilling there. My mum has drawn a whole outfit on this envelope. So for me now, like, obviously, and she'll just like draw it
on the envelope
and then just put it aside, like, and it's so, that's just her mind, just always, you know, I always admired that about her.
I heard that.
And like, you know, growing up as a kid, you know, when she was actually at college and stuff, she would draw these fantastic pieces. But I even got her an iPad one time, an iPad mini. So I had purchased my mother an iPad because I wanted her to have all her quick drawings on this digital thing. and she was also amazed by it as well. So I always encourage it. Like anyone that's creative or they just want to explore drawing or whatever the case may be, I always advise
having a
tablet,
yeah,
this piece of software, go wild, explore your creativity, go on YouTube and learn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, let your imagination.
Yeah, go wild with it.
That's kind of mad. Like, even I can relate. I remember when I came and I was telling you, like, yo, I want to try and I got a tablet, I got the pencil. I said, Mons, what do I need? You said, right, here's a list. And I said, yeah. 2 weeks later, I had my little logo, I had my little something.
And I was impressed with that. I said, go, Cayman.
I was getting
Do your
busy.
thing.
And again, I'd never done any graphic design or anything like that, but you get me a couple of days on YouTube and I was able to make something.
Exactly.
And so I think you're right. Like, anybody that has an interest in wanting to pick another skill up or flex the skills that they might already own, Procreate is a sick app.
Amazing app. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even with no knowledge at all. There's so much that you can do. It's crazy.
And it's advanced so much. I haven't even explored lately what new releases that they've. It's like you have to learn again. But
yeah.
You know, it's a good time to start if anyone's ever thinking about exploring their creativity. I recommend those things. The app is so advanced now, so it could probably do way more than you can imagine. Which will then just extend your creativity. So
it's a beautiful thing, man. 100%. So it's so funny you mentioned about seeing the drawings on your mom's envelope. Like, she actually got stuck in with the tablet now that she's got.
She's it's been a while. She still reverts back to the pen.
The pen and paper.
Yeah, the pen and random envelope. But
I hear that.
It's funny because she did mention to me the other day. She was just like, "Monét, come and sort out my device. It needs updating or whatever." But it's something that it's there. Yeah, it's there, and she has the interest. I think it just takes a little time to just get used to.
Yeah, when you got some time off, you're like, you know what? Let me just dive in a little. Let me just see what you can do.
Exactly.
I hear that. So, I hear that.
Yeah,
so that's amazing. That's sick. It's good to get a little bit of background as to how it come about. So I guess going from having studied, graphic design, having seen the change in where things are going with regards to going digital, getting hands-on, stuck in with creating digitally. How did you go from being on YouTube, looking at how to use Procreate, getting busy digitally to what we have here, the Monet Club match? Is this your first time? Like, how did you?
So, to be honest, I didn't know it would take me here. I probably spent about 1 year and a bit practicing how to do lettering, this world of lettering, and once I started to get comfortable with that, that's when I started to think, how can I distribute these pieces? Because I started to post it on Instagram and getting reactions that can motivate you even more to explore. So I was just like, I'm a lover of t-shirts from as I was a kid, going on holiday with family, young Grenada. I'll go Trinidad sometimes with my mum. I always come back with I love Grenada, and I guess I still am, but as a kid I was very much tomboyish, so I liked everything baggy. So my love for t-shirts has always been there. So when I started to get a bit more comfortable with lettering, I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to show these designs on t-shirts? And that's where it started. T-shirts. And my main focus around that was to create pieces that are expressions of how me and my community speak,
Mm-hmm.
our lingo,
Mm-hmm. The culture.
culture.
I'm with you.
Okay, so quotes,
Mm-hmm.
expression, anything that shows expression on with a lingo, a word, whatever it is. I wanted exactly. I wanted to showcase that through my lettering
Right.
and print it on a t-shirt
Mm-hmm.
so people can wear it
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
express themselves through my t-shirts. So
I'm with you.
that's where it started for
I'm
me.
with you. I
Yeah.
hear that. And I think that's it. What we'll do, we'll have like a little we'll have like a pop up on the screen come up showing the one that you got
Right.
on the site. So you
Okay.
can see, so you can reference it to see exactly what we're saying. innit? So
Cool.
I think that would be cool. So some of the expressions that you had on there was that don't fret. So
Don't fret.
Don't fret.
Don't fret.
So anyone from Grenada or Caribbean, you probably would have heard it. But Grenada
Yeah.
more specific. Don't fret.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know what that means.
I guess so. Like, don't trouble me.
Don't worry.
Don't
yourself.
worry.
Mhm.
I guess it's got a double meaning, but don't worry and don't fret. So it's just like yeah, it's just a little phrase that an expression you would use in your when you communicate with somebody. So
Yeah. I hear that.
that was my main thing.
Yeah. Don't fret. What else did we have? We had don't fret and reference now.
Good God.
Good God, that was the
Yeah,
one. I
that's
knew it had a
it.
G there. Good God.
So there's
Good God.
that one.
Yeah.
So it was more so like an American
Yeah.
or an American,
Okay.
like an American term, like
Okay.
good God, like
Yeah. Okay.
goodness, that's great.
I
Like,
hear that.
but and it's not good God,
Right.
it's God,
God.
like so
So
God, comma T.
Right.
I wanted it to be a bit more
Yeah.
expressive. And I was a bit concerned about that because I didn't want anyone to be offended.
I hear that.
But it's just a way of expression. Most people are familiar with the saying, so hopefully that transpires through.
Yeah. I hear that.
But yeah, with that main piece, I wanted to, because I focus a bit more on the texture, and that's something I actually want to explore with more actually, because when it comes to when you create on a digital device, you can add colors, you could add different textures and stuff. However, how I transfer my art from digital to actually on the t-shirt, it's a little bit different. It's a bit more basic. So I have to now make sure that the whatever the word is or whatever the lettering style is, I have to make sure I'm looking at different textures. So with that good God one, it has a lot of like polka dot design on there, and I think that's what makes it a bit more interesting instead of just a bold or solid form.
Yeah.
So I think
That's what you mean by texture.
yes.
Okay.
A bit of negative spacing can also help something pop a bit more. So that's something that I'm trying to encourage within my designs as well. A bit more, play with a bit more instead of it just being a simple solid print.
So I hear that. I take a particular liking with this design. I mean, one time we had, I've seen this about, and when I see it about, I get very gassed. You'll see on the socials.
Thank
And
you.
in fact, we're going to have your socials in the link in the description below anyway.
For sure.
But I guess, since we're here naturally, tell people where they can find your things now.
So you can find my page on Instagram. That is the main source there. So it's the Monet Club. So the brand is called the Monet Club. Okay. And
that's MONET.
Yes, so THEMONET and then Club CLUB. That's where you will find a few of my pieces that I have made. Feel free to DM me you would like one, and I will make that happen for you.
Okay.
But, that's where you'll see all the ranges.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a few videos where you're seeing the progress. To be honest, I think I enjoy creating the videos and showing the progress more than the actual final piece.
I hear you.
I think that's where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, I look at the final piece, I'm like, yeah, it's great, but you know.
The process.
Yeah, the process that's the fun part.
I hear that.
I love it.
Are you more passionate about the process?
Definitely.
Really?
I love it.
Okay.
You know, and I think that's why I liked watching the YouTube videos, because it takes more than just drawing something. It's now the steps to get to the final from one media to another.
Okay.
And for
So what do you
those,
mean by that?
yes, so I was going to say, for those that don't know, so it may start off with a drawing on my tablet, but then I have something called a cricket machine that cuts out this image.
You've got a video of this on your.
I do.
Is it on your TikTok?
It's on my TikTok. It's on my Instagram. So
I'll put that video up here so they can see that video.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So you will see
Called a cricket machine, sir?
Cricket machine or cry cut.
Okay.
Some people have called it. I call it cricket. And this is a machine that basically takes your design and then cuts out your design onto a material which is called vinyl. And the vinyl is what you would use to put on your t-shirt. And then you use a heat press machine which sticks it onto your t-shirt.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So those are my, I guess, three main tools that I use to create my final product. And it's been a pleasure to learn. Saved up all my little shillings for each one of those things. So I'm really protective and
you're proud about it.
Proud and passionate.
Man, you should be.
You know, it does take a lot of encouragement sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and I thank my friends, my family, because without that encouragement, sometimes you lose the passion, you know. So it goes through waves, but I definitely enjoy the process for sure.
No, I love that. And I think so. Like that being the case as well, the fact that you have that that machine, you've got the tools where you design the work. So you're in control of this process from start to finish.
Literally. And you know, and you learn as well. I've learned as I've gone along. I just thought it was a simple thing of like you make this thing digitally and then you just post it and then say, oh, you can make a request to get one. You need to actually test. You need to test these things out before you make it accessible to your audience. That's something I had to learn because things can go wrong. As you imagine it in your mind, it doesn't always come out that way in the final product.
100%.
So that's one thing I would say to any creative: just make sure you're actually practicing, doing tests.
So if you be specific, what exactly do you mean by that?
So sometimes, for example, the vinyl that you're using may not be a good quality. The t-shirts that I had purchased, my first batch of t-shirts, I just went ahead and ordered like 100 and whatnot t-shirts. The material was rubbish.
Really?
I had to send the whole box back.
Great.
And I had already received like requests to make some t-shirts, and I was like, damn it. I now have to slow the process or delay the process of them getting their t-shirt because I didn't think, oh, you need to investigate the quality of the t-shirt that you're printing on, the quality of the vinyl, because if I don't get the right quality vinyl, then if it washes, it might peel off. Or if the material of the t-shirt is rubbish, maybe it's going to be very much see-through, or you know, it just doesn't hang
Mhm.
properly.
Mhm.
These are all little things that I had to learn. So the weight of the t-shirt, these are things that became a learning process. Or I have the correct vinyl, I have the correct t-shirt, but then I need to see if the design works and even the composition, so the positioning of where I put my design, if that works. So all of these little things, it does, yeah, it does require a lot of testing, you know. So
And I think I can relate, like, well, tell me, like, because even as a somewhat trying to get creative, right, I'll come up with an idea, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, sick, that works, cool, put it together. Like the other day, I was making a new logo for my YouTube videos, and I was like really excited. I had the idea, slapped it together, and then I almost went and uploaded it.
yeah,
But then I thought, oh, let me just show my girl real quick before I upload it just to make sure. I
right,
spelled something wrong. And it was so silly. I was so excited about the whole process.
right,
I went from start to finish because, as far as I'm concerned, I had an idea in my head and I wanted to put it on paper
yeah,
as quickly as possible.
exactly,
And I was so quick to just send it out
yeah.
that I
You're
missed
missing
a
out
step.
on these
Yeah.
little errors.
You see what I'm saying? But I guess in your case, like, until the, I guess, yeah, you would have to like actually go through the whole thing first, print it on the t-shirt, make sure it works
Yep.
before you then accept an order, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess, you know what, it kind of highlighted to me integrity when you mentioned that, because actually you could have easily sent out the crap t-shirts,
Yeah.
if it didn't work and whatnot.
Yeah,
But I guess you said you delayed the process. I wanted to
definitely.
make sure that it's actually right and works.
Listen, I can't take embarrassment too much.
I
Like,
hear you.
I cannot embarrass myself.
I hear you.
So I would hate for anyone to have taken the time to show interest and I've just given them this shoddy thing. Like, that's not cool, you know?
Integrity.
Yeah,
You care about how your product looks.
definitely. That's
care
a
about-
brand.
Yeah.
That's my brand. That's something I'm passionate about. So I have to put in the energy and
The love.
the love.
Mhm.
You love what you do.
Mhm.
Take the time
Mhm.
and make the product good. You know.
I'm sure that the end users will appreciate it.
Exactly.
The customers and the people will love it. Will love the brand back.
Yeah,
As a result.
exactly. And you know, it goes. A lot of people can be shocked to see that. Oh, you created this. Oh, you can make a good of a quality product as well as these brands that are charging.
High street brands.
Sometimes I look at things that are, you know, that people would wear. I'm just like, I could create that. Oh, they just heat press that onto the thing. You know, I go back and forth with myself in my head about that. But yeah, it's interesting. But no, definitely you gotta provide quality things.
100%.
You know.
100% quality control, man. No, I love it. I love it. So, you know what? Like, it's been nice, but I guess we've just been bouncing off naturally. But we did have a couple of things that we had written down to try and cover through. So, I'm going to reference back to them just to make sure. But you know what? Before I do, quick jelly baby break. You get me?
Definitely.
I like little jelly babies. So let me get a little jelly babies through, man.
Yeah, man. Can't go wrong with jelly babies.
Yes.
Oh, mate.
It's nice, man. I think it's such nice. It's really nice like having this conversation and
Yeah.
thinking back to, you know, where it kind of started, grassroots level, and where you are now, man. I think with any business, it's always good to kind of look back, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you.
All right.
And I'm glad you're doing this because a lot of the time I don't even think about what I'm actually doing. I'm just like, or maybe I don't even appreciate the skill that I have.
Sort of like mastered and
Yeah, like
Right.
once you master it, you kind of just think, okay, whatever. But when you get an audience or people showing interest and they're just like, oh my God, how did you? That's how you then become to realize, oh, actually, it's quite a unique process. So you kind of learn to love it. I mean, it's kind
100%.
of sad that you kind of rely on others to make you feel good about something, but I guess that's just part of reality.
100%.
Or you just want to know that what you're taking the time to do is being appreciated somewhere. So
100%. 100%. I'm with you. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think generally, especially after lockdown as well, when it comes to talking about, and as much as this is a, you know, a hobby for you, you know, we've seen so many businesses and people that have skills and hobbies and stuff shine after the back end of lockdown, and through the growth of things like social media, YouTube, and all these platforms that are coming about, we've been able to get to know the people behind these, I would say, more local brands and local work that we're seeing done. Personally, I've grown to have access through social media. For instance, like if there's a local brand to me, not only can I know about that local brand through the products that they're doing, but the person behind the product.
Yeah.
And that helps to attach me even more to that person's journey, that person's
You
story.
grasp a personality, isn't it?
100%.
When you can connect with someone through their personality as well as their art, their work that they're producing, it makes it a bit more interesting,
100%.
and it makes you want to support that person a bit more. And that's still something, because it's interesting. I wasn't going to show. I didn't want people to know that it was me creating this brand, because I kind of had this like weird thing of like, oh, if people know it's me, they're not gonna show interest. But actually, I mean, it's whatever works for you. But actually, I think especially on social media, it just creates, you get a better reception when you are showcasing who you are and what you do, and then that way people will bond with you a bit more.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
especially when you're showcasing your progression. You're not just showing end product all the time, or final product, whatever. You're not just showing that. You're actually showing how you do what you do.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was interested in like creating something, and I was just like, make sure you show your progress. That's what people are engaged with. You have to show the progress. It's interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm with you, and I think it does a great job with telling a story.
Yeah.
Behind, and I like the fact that you call it art, because this is art at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's art, right? And there's people that are going to be able to connect with that. There's people that are going to be able to connect with the story, the person,
Yeah.
and the way it looks itself, design itself as well. So there's so many angles of which a person can connect with it.
Yeah,
I think it elevates the whole thing.
Yeah.
Me. So
Yeah, for sure.
I've loved being able to actually connect with local brands, and we're talking about local UK. This is someone that owns her process.
Yeah.
She's in control.
Definitely.
She's showing you what she's doing. It's here in
Yeah.
physical form.
And to be honest, t-shirts and hoodies is not the only way I'm looking to express or make it accessible to people that are interested. Whether that comes in a form of greeting cards or anything that I'm willing to explore. But this is just the beginning stages.
100%. So lettering and design is where you started.
Yeah.
But there are different services that people can come to the Monet Club for.
Exactly.
Whether it's t-shirts and hoodies.
Yeah.
Logo design.
Yeah.
You've got a lettering. Have you got a lettering page as well?
I do have a lettering page, and I guess that's where you can see most of my progression. And maybe even see, I guess you can see how, I wouldn't say how rubbish I was, but like how it was when I first started to how I am now. And the thing is, I haven't even reached my full potential, because there's so much more that I could learn and do. So I wouldn't say I'm in the beginning stages, but yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Watch this space, yeah. Because it's really intriguing, and so you'll definitely be able to see my progression and things that I've experimented with, colors, textures. Because remember, it's all digital, so I have to explore these different things. And then the Monet Club page on Instagram is where you can see where I've transferred from like testing and learning to actually putting it onto a professional
Okay.
thing.
Okay, end product.
Yeah, an end
Okay.
product. So you get to see both sides of
Yeah.
each of those pages.
Okay.
Um,
And have you got the name of the other page that you were talking about?
it's called the Monet Type,
Mhm.
I believe.
Okay.
I have to double check that one.
Okay, that's fine.
It's been a
That's
hot
fine.
minute.
Don't worry. The link will be in the
Yeah.
description below. So watch out for that.
So
This is
so
nice, man.
you know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna quickly skim through what I had here just to make sure we're not missing anything. Right. So we've gone through who and what the Monet Club is, where the vision started. Let's have a look. You've spoken about the tech, the three pillars of your whole process. You've got the digital creation, so you use a tablet.
Yeah.
Apart from a tablet, your iPad, your Apple Pencil. Is there any other tech that you use as well?
Not at this moment, no.
Okay.
I do want to get into screen printing.
Okay. What is that?
So it's probably the traditional way of how you would transfer a piece of image onto a GARM item. And to be honest, I don't know the professional or the correct terms, but what you're dealing with is paint, a special kind of paint, and like this square thing.
Like this thing that the people are...
That's it.
Okay,
You got
I
it.
see that.
Yeah. So somehow they've managed to print your image onto this piece of material,
Right.
which then when you use the paint to squeeze it or roll it across this material, and then that paint will seep through to then come onto your gum.
Okay.
So all of that I need to discover.
You want to get into that?
I want to get into that. I see it on YouTube, and I just not YouTube, Instagram. You know, you've got those like mini videos. I'll spend hours just like getting lost in that kind of stuff. So that's definitely another form of printing and design that I want to explore.
So, are you interested in actually doing that bit or the whole lot? Like having a T-shirt with that type of print on there, or actually doing that print, or the whole lot of it?
I think the whole lot. Like, I know with that type of print, you normally need like a studio,
right?
Because it can get a bit messy.
Okay.
But I've seen that you can have like a home kit as well. So
okay.
I want to explore the home kit. But I do also want to maybe sign up to some courses and you know just actually learn the process. Yeah, I would say step away from the digital world and learn how to do that. That's the next thing on my list.
I hear that.
You know,
something physical again, homebred, boy. I like that
for sure. No, that's what makes it.
Yeah.
You know,
it gives it. That's what the thing
what
is.
makes it worthwhile. You're seeing someone as basic, not as basic as I, but like you know, someone. You know what I mean? That you may know, but they're doing such a thing. Before it was like, oh, you have to have access or pay a company to do it and all this stuff. So I like the idea that there's these different forms of media where you could do it from your home, of your front room.
I like that. So we're nearing the end. So we're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna just make sure that we covered the main parts of this here. I hear that.
Invest.
Oh boy, listen. I appreciate you coming down. Wow. You know what? I've got nothing left in the glass, but actually, Char, I've got my little pineapple juice here. We have to make a little one toast because actually, you know what I mean?
I appreciate this, Karen.
It's been nice to have a chat and to also go back and talk about your journey with the Monet Club.
Yeah.
From start till now, man.
For sure. There's more prints to come.
Yeah, bruv.
And
listen,
I appreciate this, man. Cheers.
On, man. Yeah, trust me, man. Definitely. Right then.
Thank you for having me, Karen.
No problem, man. Socials will be in the description below.
For sure.
Check the Monet Club out. I appreciate you coming down and sharing a little story about how things have been. And yeah, man. Until the next one. Bless up.